I'm Yuan and I have Huey with me. So we are here to share our story, our journey in our vegetarian and veganism journey. A quick introduction on our commonality. So we are both Malaysian. We're working in Singapore and we joined Tzu Singapore because we are here in Singapore. And there are other activities that we work on together. The first one is the daily Wisdom of Dawn. We are the AV team for our East Zone. So we do live broadcasts via Zoom daily. And we are the first batch of QC when Tzu Singapore launched the 21 Days Healthier Me Challenge. So we were lucky to be part of this challenge, and we do a lot of food tasting together in many eateries. And obviously, we love plant-based. All right, quick introduction here, and now my story. So there are 3 important years in my journey. So I became a vegetarian in 1999. To be more precise, is lacto-vegetarian. Seems there are many categories of vegetarian. And 1 year later, I dropped the ovo and become a lacto-vegetarian. But for 20 years, I've been flip-flopping between lacto-vegetarian and vegan. So sometime in 2020, I decided that I need to be permanent vegan. So I make a stake and say, okay, this is it. No more flip-flopping. Then this is when I'm going to start my vegan journey. So that's 2020. So these are the important years in my vegetarian decision to be from one to another to upgrade. And of course, now we talk about whole food plant-based. This is another level that I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so how it started? It started from a fish, salmon. So I became more aware of animal intelligence after watching a documentary about the life cycle of salmon. So it is really interesting to know that they started as in salmon is hatched in fresh water. They grow in the stream, then they swim from the river to the Pacific Ocean. Look at the picture on the right, the journey. So they grow and mature in the ocean, and they find their way back by swimming upstream again back to their own, back to their home where they were born and hatched, and then they die there. I said, how could the small fish, I mean, it's big when when it grows, but it's able to remember where they were born and find their way back. So it's my first awareness of animal intelligence. So I dropped salmon from my diet, but that's just the beginning. And as I do more research about animals, I Google search and I found PETA, People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, watched a lot of videos from them, and it changes my view on animals, right? And they are just like us. They have feelings, they have emotions. And so it just gives me this motivation to start to change my diet. It's just my diet change only. I haven't gone into other areas yet, because it's just, okay, not eating animals is my first step. And because my aim is to be a vegan, which includes the lifestyle of a vegan. So which means including clothing, including the way of life. So that's something I'm aiming for, not only on my diet but also the way of life. I didn't know there's so many categories of vegan. Recently, I do a research and found that there are 4 categories. Right. Challenges. Obviously, everyone has a story about the challenges they go through when they become a vegetarian. So yes, my challenge is my parents, because I'm highly dependent on them to provide me with food. So because they they think I am too skinny to be a vegetarian because there's not enough nutrients. So it took a lot of determination to stay with my choice. And for 1 year, I have baked beans. My mom is trying to find ways to prepare vegetarian food. It's very challenging for her because all our meals in the past has either seafood or meat. So besides tofu, baked beans to her is the easiest because it's just opening the can and pour out the beans. And so I have baked beans for 1 year. So now I hardly have baked beans. I have overloaded with baked beans. But over time they believe that I have but that I won't change my mind. So they start to explore more varieties of vegetarian food for me. So that's that takes time, but it will work out with your family over time. Health-wise, as we all know, there are some misinformation about vegetarian not getting enough nutrients. There are some challenges that I find, which is B12 and iron. So luckily, fortunately, I love Marmite. So that will be my B12 source, and I use it for bread spread. And as in my work, when I travel, I will have a bottle of Marmite with me. And for iron, I did some research and realized that molasses is very rich in iron and is bioavailable. So that becomes my sweetener. So that's the two main item that I spend more focus on. Otherwise, everything else is just the BAU food that we all consume. So no major health issue. In fact, I feel better. As I think we have to demonstrate that by us following this diet, we look healthy, we feel healthy. So that is the best role model for others to be convinced that this is the right path. This is the right diet this is a healthy diet, basically. All right, I just want to share a few, what happened the last 2 weeks. After COVID, this is my first long travel, far, very, very far, with 24 hours of trip. So every time I plan to go to a place, I will always search where is the nearest Tzu Chi center. So because I'm going to New York City. So, and I found that there is a center in New York City in Midtown Avenue 6. So as I do some research, and I found that next to this center, there is a place called Serendipity Tree. Apparently it's very, very famous, but I didn't know. And they have a very famous frozen hot chocolate. And because there are more and more people going plant-based, so they introduced the vegan version of this hot chocolate. So very good. So I landed in New York. It happens to be near my hotel. So I mean the Tzu Chi Center. So I walked to Tzu Chi Center, but before that, just hop over to this place and make a reservation because it's a long queue. And after that, go to Tzu Chi Center, ring the bell, walk in, and chat with the sisters there. And they took me around the 3 floors. There are 4 floors. I went through 3 floors, the exhibits, and spent about an hour there, where the sisters share about the purpose of this center here. It's quite new. It's only like 4 or 5 years old, this building. And what they do with the neighbors here is just right across this center is a church. So they have they work with the church every month to provide free food for the homeless. So there's some discussion, talks, and exhibits. And after 1 hour, I bid farewell to the Tzu Chi sister and walk over to this place and have my frozen hot chocolate. So the point here is, what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of vegan and vegetarian friendly places now. So dining out with friends who are meat eaters is not an issue anymore. It's easy. So you will not be antisocial anymore. So anyway, this hot chocolate is too sweet for me, but if you have sweet tooth, you may like it. All right. Yeah, this is another one which I was also looking for 100% vegan place, and there's a place called Beyond Sushi. And because it's winter, so I ordered a ramen instead of sushi. And when this bowl came to me, this is my bowl actually. I saw the egg and was like, did I order the wrong thing or did I go to the wrong place? So in fact, I didn't touch this bowl yet. I went back to Google search to say, is this really a vegan place? So yes, it is. So the egg yolk is very much like egg, very much like it is not, but the egg white is not. So this is vegan bowl. So again, there are this is a chain stores. I mean chain eatery. So it seems like there are many people who embrace veganism now, and the place is packed. So there are options for vegan now, lots of options. So it's you don't feel lonely anymore. In the past, like you got to find you got to find you got to you have very little options, or you got to find yourself only compromise with salad, but not anymore. So of course, with technology, you can check your app where's the nearest vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly, and vegan places. It's really easy. And right after New York, I went to India. So India, as everyone knows, is a vegetarian haven because there are lots of vegetarian. And I've been to India many times. That was before 2020. So and 2020 now is 2024. So when I told my friend I'm vegan, so they started to they got worried. They said, they call me Jackie, my friends. It's quite difficult to get vegan food in India. I said, why? Because we use ghee a lot in our cooking. Oh, so we have to be careful. I have to be careful just to make sure I ask before I ordered. I mean, when I order the food, just to check whether they use ghee. So yes, India is great for vegetarian, but it's a little challenging for vegan. So how I keep motivated? Um, yeah, always remember the original intent. That will remind you why you choose this path. And because I subscribe to some of these videos, like Peter, I get all these videos all the time, and I keep watching them. It expand your knowledge, and this keeps you motivated for a long time after watching these videos. I don't. So when I eat out with my friends, I don't have any problem with friends. No, they love going out with me even to vegetarian or vegan places because they do not feel that I'm a threat to their way of life. As once they feel that no, you won't threaten their way of life, they will be willing to listen to you as to some of your adventure on your vegan journey and your vegetarian journey. So and over time, they actually are more aware of this diet, and they usually will, whenever they go to places where they see the word vegetarian or vegan, they will send me a message and say, I found this place, you can come and try, or I saw this dish is vegan and vegetarian. So I get a lot of my friends who are meat eaters actually introduce me places to go for vegan and vegetarian food. So far so good with my social life with my friends, and they become more aware, and actually some of them actually try like every Monday they'll just go for plant-based food. Recently I tried to introduce plant-based, as in tell them what is the difference between plant-based versus vegetarian, because a lot of time people think about vegetarians as mock meat, but plant-based, what it exactly means, it's not about eating grass, right? There's a lot of later Sister Huixin will talk more about plant-based. So far, as long as we are not a threat to our friends' way of life, they will they will embrace you, embrace your your diet. And very, very happy to explore this diet with you. All right, so now that's all I'm sharing. I will pass on to Hui Xin to share her story. Hui Xin, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Sister Ewan. Okay, let me adjust my camera a bit. Okay. Yeah, first of all, good morning and good evening to sister and brother here. Okay, I'm Hui Xin. So I'm working in SG as well, but I'm from Malaysia. Okay. Today is more about sharing. Okay, let me share my screen first. Yeah, today is more about sharing my and how I transform into a vegetarian. So I want to like to share is focusing on how do I overcome all the resistance to being a vegetarian, because I think this topic it seems quite interesting, especially for those interested to be a vegetarian. So I hope that if you are already a vegetarian or vegan, okay, I hope this my sharing can inspire you to be influenced to others to be a vegetarian as well. So with that, I hope this story can remind you and help you to better understanding how we also can help others eventually to become one as well. So I will start sharing my story. Okay, so this is my Vego journey. It start back in year 2006. You can see here I gained awareness, and I joined community community back then in 2008. Then gain the knowledge a bit, then I start reflection and get the courage to become a vegetarian. So it took me about 9 years to fully transform from what I know of. Start from awareness, then become a vegetarian. So it's I'll say it's quite a long journey, yeah, compared with the rest. And yeah, I've been vegetarian about, I think this is 8 years. Yeah, this 8 year getting into the 9 years. Okay. So yeah, in 2000, since then I'll be helping others to promote or work with others to promote vegetarian as well. And now joining Healthy 21 Me day challenge. I mean, being the the back end team to support for the QC or the program. So yeah, this is one of the ways to promote vegetarian as well. Yeah. So yeah, it started with my family. So I was born in a family that my dad was a fishmonger. And being a daughter of fishmonger, you can expect that every day in on the table, the meal will be served with seafood or fish. Okay, yeah, as long as the resource, I mean, so-called the fish or seafood, can be. I mean, as long as you can mention the country that nearby us, be it Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines. I mean, we can get it. Or Malaysia, yeah, we can get it. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was being raised. Although my dad was fishmonger, I do proud of him because that's what he used his hand to raise us the four kids so including me before he was a fishmonger, actually he was a treasurer in a factory, in a rubber factory back then, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, so he need to change his job um to continue so that he can support the family financially. So yeah, so I continue with that. During the journey, I study in a university in KL. It's called UKM, National University of Malaysia. So back then, 2006, I have a chance to join Chiqing. Chiqing here means Chiqing Collegiate Youth Association. Yeah, mainly to promote compassion. Also, a group of youths trying to do all the good deeds. Yeah, include environment friendly activity as well. Yeah, I joined a 3 days, 2 night camp that time. So the entire camp was served just vegetarian food. And at that moment, I learned about, oh, actually, animals are like us, like what sister even shared. They have feeling, they have emotion. And I saw the video during the camp. I with roughly recall that how they're being killed, how they're being treated during in the farm or in the poultry. Yeah. So it made me have a self realization that do I really need to eat meat? Why do I need why why must I eat them? So this is the point that I started have my awareness about my meal. So after I came back, because the camp was having in a semester break. So after that camp, I went back home, my hometown, which is Ipoh. So my mom is the one at home that prepared our meal. When I saw, I mean, I can remember that time it was a lunch. Okay, my mom have cooked a few dishes. One of the dishes inside got pork. I try to avoid the pork inside. I just take whatever is inside in the plate. So for example, the mushroom or the braised tofu. I try to avoid because for my heart inside at that moment when I saw that plate of food, pork, I was thinking like, can I avoid it? How can I do not take it? Because I've been used to, I don't know why. I mean, I've been used to the diet of vegetarian so fast that I mean just between the 3 days, 2 nights. But unfortunately that this just being so-called this practice just being keep within like a few days because I don't have much choices other than not all the dishes I can kind of like pick up all the veggies only. Yeah. And also I remember that time I kind of bring up to discuss with my mom. I share about, oh, I went to this camp, it only served vegetarian food. And I was just bring up this concept like, oh, maybe I want to try this vegetarian as well. At that moment, my mom I think and my family as well, they don't really support it because they are more concerned with my health, how I can take sufficient nutrition. And this is a question, yeah, it's a question to me as well. And plus, my dad is a fishmonger, so he's selling all the fish or seafood every day. She kind of has sources. So he also kind of like I'm the one who doing it. I mean, we always eat it, so it should be continuing with that. So back then, actually I don't have a option really. I mean at home because my mom is the one who prepare the meals. I don't have a choice. Okay, yeah, for myself at that my internal conversation there's a lot of question raised during that moment. I can remember I also question myself, how can I eat healthy as a vegetarian, and did I really have the conviction or confidence in vegetarian diet, although I try to be compassionate to love the animals, and I also think that how can I sustain it. And I'm also thinking that, I mean, you can see that my family apparently they don't really support lah about this idea. So after the semester break, I went back to the university. I stay in a hostel. Yeah, so I kind of like, oh, okay, now is the time I stay alone. I can choose my meal preference. So I choose. So most of the time, I choose to be a vegetarian if I have choice because it depends. Sometimes, our schoolmates or yeah, if they are the one who help us to pack the meal, so I need it depends on them whether I have a choice. And especially in my university that time, UKM, uh, the area is a bit further from the city, and the choices in there are very limited because this university is a Muslim-based university. And I can recall that at that moment, the nearby store, Chinese vegetarian store or Chinese economic rice store, just total in three of them, and none of them are vegetarian. Okay. While in school, in the university hostel, we do have cafe, but they are mainly served with Malay food, with a lot of choices on the meat. And veggie dishes mainly just roughly just about two or three, I mean, adding the egg as option. So I'm quite limited with the choice lah. But anyway, in my deep down in my heart, I say that I want to try it out because being a student, it's much cheaper to choose just a veggie in a cafe compared with the meat. All the beef or fish and the rest. So at that moment, I joined the Chiqing. So this is also a small vegetarian committee. So I'm really grateful for that. And what I have made the conclusion at the moment is okay, I just go with the flow. Okay. So back then later I graduated. I worked in Selangor in about year 2008. So yeah, I have I also stay outside away from my home lah. So I have a car that time. So and there in Selangor they have much more vegetarian option. And most important, I joined the Tzu committee volunteer lah. As we know, everyone, most of us are vegetarian, and we support and encourage each other at the time. So even though I haven't been a full vegetarian yet, I I joined quite a lot of activity by supporting the rest to promote vegetarian diet. From 2009 onwards, you can see this is a picture that I've been. It's about movie screening that with the title to promote vegetarian. So in this picture on the right, it's about we're doing some cooking demo to the rest on the vegetarian how they can learn to cook vegetarian meals. So in the left side is me with another brother. We are in charge of the flow of the program. And this is another picture that that time with supporting others to promote vegetarian. So why I'm sharing this is because throughout this supporting others to promote vegetarian diet, it helped me in building up my knowledge and conviction on vegetarian. I kind of understand much deeper into vegetarian diet. Okay, so if you are looking at for me, actually it's on the right here, the right picture, which is sitting wearing the gray shirt is me lah. Okay, that time I was quite young, just graduated from university. Okay, so okay, throughout this all activities, I think and also the so-called in communicating or working with the other volunteer, I kind of like I'm ready. I think I'm ready spiritually like to be a vegetarian, but I still have other area that I need to slowly to get the so-called the answer or the solution that in within my internal conversation. So back then, Dr. Eddie, that time about 2010, yeah, he shared one interesting topic is eat the rainbow. Yeah, basically share with us how to become a vegetarian that you still can get sufficient nutrition. So this is a very important part that it give me confidence that, oh, actually I need to eat all the colors of the fruit, of the vegetables, so that I can maintain balanced nutrition. So we need to eat a variety. So and also important point that he made that as a vegetarian we cannot be picky. Everything we need to eat, which I currently is practicing, yeah. So it helped me in this journey. So within the committee, joining a committee is good for me. I get the resources about vegetarian and get the support from the rest on for their experience, and also it kind of slowly nurturing my compassion and also getting the nutritional information, yeah, from the rest as well. And sometimes we feel we face with different challenges. So by sharing, we learn how to face it. Yeah. For example, when we are faced with limited meal choice, uh, we don't have an option. How do we still keep with a vegetarian diet? Okay. Yeah. So now it's like, oh, okay, I learned how to maintain sufficient nutrition. Yeah. So I started slowly to get those being soft or so-called answer. Then back then to my family, yeah, I know that my family is need a long time to accept this or to support it. I kind of like taking my I also take my own pace to share some information that I learned from Chichi, some videos that cultivate love for animals, some health analysis as well. I try my best to share with them slowly. I also share my thoughts slowly with them, my dad, my mom especially, because she's the one in charge of the family meal. So I share recipe, yummy recipe, vegetarian recipe with her. Okay, for my colleagues, that time in KL, I can recall that one of my colleagues say that I live to eat. So when he makes that statement, actually it triggered me. We are all IT engineer that time. Okay, we use a lot of every day we use a lot of brain juice. Okay, for analytic. So the only thing that my colleague they anticipated was to have a good meal during the lunch, and they kind of every day searching for new place to eat. And I know that it's never ending cycle. Every day you need to search and search, and their motivation is to level up their food taste experience and spend more and more in the food. And I recall that time I have a deep conversation with my colleague, and I say that because I learned a lot of principle from Chichi, especially from our master Chen Yan, I share that okay, actually it's we live to eat or we eat to live. I didn't try to change him, but I just share that for me, I eat to live. I'm not live to eat. This is because I don't want to be my eating to be a priority in my life. In our life, there are much more things or aims or goal that's more important compared with eat, right? There's more meaningful things that we can achieve rather than just focusing that to the eat. Okay, that which will take up our time to search, to travel, and money as well. Okay, that's what I share with him lah. So that time we kind of like we agree to disagree kind of, but we respect each other. Okay, so my colleague I have and friends I have an very open and honest conversation with them. So they kind of respect and sometimes they will try to accommodate my meal lah, so-called my lunch kaki lah that time. Kaki means group lah, okay, lunch group. So for my friends, they also try to accept and accommodate my meal preference most of the time. Okay, if not, then I need to find myself some alternatives lah. Yeah. So at that moment, I solve. I threw out the problem. How when I having lunch with my colleague, I know that they will try to accommodate my meal as much as possible, and so my friends. Now it's like, oh, since left with my family that I need to convince. Okay, well, everything goes okay. So far, not bad. But during that time, I moved to Singapore in year 2012. Yeah, I have new colleagues. I have new friends. Okay, yeah, it's something new to me. So now it's back to my doubts, my internal conversations. Like, okay, if my new colleagues they couldn't accommodate my diet preference, no problem. I'll have it myself. I can have lunch myself. Okay. But the thing is, being a new person, being a person in a new environment, yeah, I definitely need a community, also called friends there, right? So my biggest challenge is like, I'm thinking, will my new friends able to accept and take into consideration whenever we gather? Yeah, so I think this is a bad question, a tough question for me. So and back to that time, my new circle of friends in Singapore was my schoolmate, my high school mate. Okay, and this group of friends that love seafood and buffet. So I kind of like I'm new to that group, and I will be paise. That means I feel not so easy to request for vegetarian option at the time. Yeah, and I also have a fear of being separated or isolated. So I need to compromise between my wish and their interests. So I do admit that when I came to Singapore, I saw that there's diverse culinary in Singapore here, and I saw that it's kind of very appealing food from all over the world lah. So it also become one of my, I'll say, it attract me as well lah, deep in my heart. So I'll try out. Yeah. So then we got this good opportunity in Tsuchi, Singapore back then, 2013. So Sangren have a so-called give us the blessing to have this sutra adaptation, the water repentance text. So that time I have this opportunity to join. Yeah. So and we have we practice the sign language for months, and also the lesson, also the Dharma we learned throughout this so-called this sutra adaptation. So in this is a picture of that year performance. I was about, I think I was standing in the bottom left here, about this here. So it kind of reinforced a reinforcement for my spiritual principle, and to much higher consciousness, and have deeper sense of connectedness with the natural. I know that this is something that really try to reinforce. So in the sutra adaptation of the water repentance text, we talk about law of karma. I mean, it's a part of the Buddha Sutra, right? The law of karma. And in that adaptation, you have one of the scene is talk about the realms of animals. And at that time, we also have so-called after the repentance, we do have repenting our wrongdoings. We do like stop, kind of like stop repented us from killing other creature. And most important, the message I get is all creatures are equal. Okay. And during that adaptation, we also want to be vegetarian life after life. Yeah, so that animals do not have to be killed. And this have been really, really so-called keep into my mind. And since that, from that onwards, I feel a bit guilty. Yeah. I feel uncomfortable when I was being served with meat, be at friends, be with friends of at home. So more internal conflicts arose at time. So I was thinking like, how can I solve this? How can I convince my family? Yeah. How can I, yeah, try to be a vegetarian? So a lot of yeah, this conflict started uh become a deeper I would say challenges to me. And at that moment, I was working in a company, an MC company, where one of my colleague, she's vegetarian, and I talked to her. She shared her experience, and I can observe that how other colleagues respect her, and every time we go for lunch, the colleagues will try to find a place that have vegetarian option. Yeah, that trigger me that actually yeah, the colleague are quite friendly. Yeah, so they also can accept. And I remember that time, briefly remember that time my colleague say, okay, her advice is just be yourself. Okay, do what you want to do. Okay, so that made me to uh start start thinking, to reflect as well. So before the Chinese New Year of 2015, when I was doing some shopping for my family, some Chinese New Year goodie preparation for the Chinese New Year. So nearby there, in one of shopping mall, they have one temple. It's Kuan Yin Temple in Bugis, located at Bugis, Singapore. So at that moment when I go in, when I pray, I was at that moment, I don't know why, suddenly I was enlightened with courageous. um I think that time I remember that I was thinking, oh, when I go back to my home, my my mom definitely will cook a lot of good meals, so-called good meals during the reunion dinner. But that time I was thinking, oh, what if do I really need eat it? So at that moment, I'm very clear that I need to stop eating them. So, and I also realized that based on what my colleagues share with me, be yourself, and throughout the years, so-called, I think that time it was 7 years since I uh joined teaching and get the awareness about vegetarian. It was 7 years back then from awareness to 2000 to year 2015. So it's for me, it's like, oh, sorry, I think it's 2008 when I joined the teaching community, when I started have the intention to really deep down my heart want to be a veteran. Yeah. I mean, throughout these years have been 7 years, I tried to uh slowly convert or transform into vegetarian. Yeah, I understand that there's never a right time. I just need to do it. Yeah. So in front with the enlightenment and the courages I have in the temple, I make the vow. I make a vow in front of Guanyin that I want to be a vegetarian. Yeah. So when I went back for Chinese New Year to my hometown, so I make announcement to my family. I say that I'm a vegetarian now. Yeah. So, and I be honest with them. I have made a vow to Kuan Yin. I also share with them that this is actually my wish for the past 7 years. And I seek for their understanding. I I really recall that time my family members were kind of silence. So I mean, when I mentioned it, my family kind of fall into a piece of silence. Then they kind of question me that, why you make such vow? And later they also question, hey, then what you gonna eat tomorrow reunion dinner? Then I think for me, I just answer them that, oh, I'm fine with any. I fine with simple meal. I mean, for me, just one vegetables and one egg will do. That's what how I answer to my mom. But I also feel grateful that they don't have really strong so-called rejection that time. I believe that throughout the years of sharing so-called educate or sharing the information about vegetarian and they can see my determination throughout the years how I want to be a vegetarian. So they kind of like, okay, I accept it for this time. Yeah, so that's so in summary, we need to understand why we want to be a vegetarian. This is very important. It keep remind us that um when whenever uh what we want to achieve, yeah, why we want to be a vegetarian and why we want to out for this case I would say that why we want to eat meat. Yeah. For me is all life deserve respect. So I believe well we know that all animals, yeah, have their intelligence. Yeah, they also have the same emotions, feeling as a human, similar with humans. So they deserve respect. Yeah. So for me, after I mean, after all this entire journey, you, I mean, I fall into the conclusion that everything when a person turns into vegetarian for me, like for my case, is all related back to the BPSS, which is biological, social, and spiritual. As long as all these are being so-called this doubt or challenges are being solved, I think should be fine to be a vegetarian. So for my suggestion for those who want to be a vegetarian or aspiring to be a vegetarian, I would suggest that for biological, I mean, we need to get more knowledge about how to eat balanced nutrition, how to eat to being a vegetarian, because I think this a not so I'll say this is a not so easy. Not I'm saying not so easy. It's it requires a certain of knowledge lah to maintain our balanced meal for a vegetarian. Yeah, so try to explore, read a lot, or talk to people as much as we can. And joining a community like Tzu is very helpful for me in my journey for transforming to a vegetarian. Yeah, get the support, all the resources we have, and sharing the experience. And for psychology part, have an open and honest conversation with the friends, family, our colleagues. I believe slowly in time, they will kind of respect our decision, and they will understand better about us, our intention as well. And most important, which I think this is a thing that I should improve that time, is I should set a timeline. Set a timeline for yourself, how long you want to so-called slowly transform to be a vegetarian. And the most important in throughout this journey is the religion for me, the spiritual. I get the support from the Buddha teaching and our master teaching as well. Yeah, so that's for my sharing today, and 感恩for listening. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, if any question can ask us as well. I'll stop my slide. Yeah, yeah, back to you, brother. Yeah, brother. Chin.
Thank you so much for very interesting sharing both. Yes, ask you some more questions. When you started being vegetarian, and you shared, Sister Hui, you shared about what do my friends think when I go out with them, so on and so forth. I'm just curious, if you look back who your friends were before you were vegetarian, your friends are today, has it changed? You got a new circle of friends, or the old circle of friends just faded off? Both of you, maybe you can share your experience on this.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, for those friends that very close to me, so-called my close friends, yeah, those who understand me, I mean, they're still with me and they respect me, and they try to accommodate when we ask for going out together. They will ask me, hey, is there anything you can eat within this restaurant? They will ask me, they respect me. But there are some groups of people I kind of slowly fade out from that group, because not only just meal, when we all have our own families, yeah, have our kids. I mean, life become busier with the work and family, so the gathering also get lesser and lesser. So yeah, I mean, some yes, some I mean, that close to me, they are supporting me. Some yes, slowly, I mean, I kind of like fade out from the group. Yeah.
So you're outing with some of these friends of yours, have they been lessened?
Sorry, are they?
The gatherings, the luncheons or the dinners, you have some of these friends who are non-vegetarian. The gatherings your interaction with them, has it lessened?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, Brother Chin, I mean, I think the connectivity
No,
is,
she's saying, he's asking whether your gatherings with this group of friends, is it less and less?
Having meals with them together?
Yeah, you have reduced your interaction or gatherings. This was
not really, not really. And I mean, for those close to me, actually, there's nothing changed. There's not impacting at all. And apparently, I try to influence them. They ask me why I want to vegetarian. I just shared my honest feeling, and I'm quite happy that sometimes they say, okay, we go. I ask, can we go for this vegetarian restaurant? I mean, it's an open discussion, right? That's like they also quite happy to join me. So yes, why not? We try this vegetarian. Yeah, so I'm very grateful to have this group of friends are very, very a true friend for me that support me. Yeah, even though we have different preference for the diet. Yeah.
What about Sister Ewan? What's your experience?
my friends are still the same group of friends, and as I and
What about
when
your
I
experience?
no resistance. Of course, the question is always the why, and I can't remember how many times I have to explain the why. But interestingly, just one observation, in Asia, many of your friends who know you for the first time or no will ask the why. But when I a couple of years back when I went to Africa for work, I was in Ghana, I was in Kenya, I was in Nigeria. When I say I'm a vegetarian, no one asked me why. They just say, okay, let me introduce you our our food that that is vegetarian. So there's no why us. So which is very interesting is to them is like, it's just your diet, right? They wouldn't ask like, why did you become a vegetarian? But only in Asia, I get a lot of questions. But of course you answer. But over time, when friends who knows you, now they always ask why you turn vegan. Vegetarian is very common now. Now, why you turn vegan? Now I got to explain. And they say, what is vegan? So, and then they what is plant-based? But as you explain, they just, okay, they gain more knowledge. It's good for them too. And they gain more knowledge and happy to understand more. And they become more aware. And they become more aware for you, for me, as in, they call me Jackie. Jackie, I found a place here that may be of your interest because it has vegan. So yeah, social wise is the same. It's actually better. They actually have more knowledge about this and actually help me to find more places to eat. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, based on what you're saying, that it's a very joyful experience, I guess.
Yeah, to me so far so good. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Except for the family.
Are there any questions from those in the Zoom now? Well, if no question, I got one last question. Okay, before I answer the question, when people ask me, is it spiritual? The reason why when you're taking vegetarian meal, or is it something else? I know sometimes when you talk about religion, and I try to skirt that answer. Let's talk about something else. Yeah, I say you talk about sustainability. Why don't you take vegetarian, for example? Now, one last question. I don't want to put you on a spot on this, but if someone says to you, what you put into your mouth doesn't necessarily make you good. What makes you good is what come out from your mouth. How would you respond to that?
Okay, let me take this. Right. I would come from I understand what's coming from, right? Yes, this is part of both ways. When we say, there are cases where they say, I see vegetarians that are very angry. I see vegetarians that are, that gossips a lot. Yeah, that's a behavior thing. So diet is a diet, and diet for many reasons, diet for ethical reason, for health reason. So when we start conversation like this, we will look at it more holistically when I have this conversation.
Okay, so your answer is that you need to separate the two. They're not connected.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's the Huey sing?
Yeah, for me, I think, yeah, it's true that it's two separate things, but I would still think that become a vegetarian, it kind of it makes us more compassion. Yeah, kind of slowly changing our inner heart. It depends on the person. It can be long journey or shorter journey, but I think it will helps to be more empathy, yeah, as well. Yeah, and that will slowly change our reaction, including our words as well.
Okay. So what you're saying is, you can be good. I mean, what comes out, what goes into your mouth, can be good, and what comes out from your mouth can be good. So, in other words, Sister Huey, you're trying to say is, well, I can do both.
Yeah.
I can have good thing going to my mouth. I have a good thing coming out from my mouth. Right?
Yes.
Well, what wonderful, fantastic, and I get to learn something today from you all. And so thank you so much, both sisters from Singapore, Sister Yuan and Sister Huey Sing, as on your Uyghur story. You know what, Vego? Vego is very Australian colloquial word, isn't it?
Yes, yes, we
Uh,
were discussing. No, we said vegetarian. I mean, we use this so many times. Maybe try something, because when I was in Australia, when I told my colleague I'm a vegetarian, he keeps calling me Vego, Vego, Vego. So I was like, this is this is a cute kind of cute slang. So we thought, maybe why don't we just use that term, just to replace vegetarian? Yeah.